right, everybody. We got another live Metal Monday. Please get some comments, questions in there. And, we just were waiting for Copper to have a small rebound. So tell
Jeez,
what's going on out there, Brett?
it's been a bloodbath, man. That's kind of what we've been experiencing. So we just wanted to wait and wait, and finally this morning we got a little bit of up day in us. So we were like, let's hurry and knock this thing down.
Yeah, I felt
Let's
like
talk about the market.
I felt like we were more headed to 375, but we're back, what, 415? Where are we at right now?
Yeah, it was somewhere in that range. I mean, I think like December, which I look at for like copper chops and stuff, was like 423 or something like that. So, um, but today's Comex, yeah, they're somewhere around that
20 right
between
now.
412, 415, 420 right now is what it looks like.
Yep.
So
We'll take it.
we'll take it, right?
Is that the Fed meeting that they're talking about easing up on the rates in September? Or is that where some of this traction's coming
Yes, I think that's what kind of prompted it this morning was the anticipation of the Fed meeting and the rate cuts potentially, and maybe some easing back into the economy. I think if they feel like inflation's starting to level out or work its way down, then I think there's going to be some room to drop the rates. But they needed to slow the economy down, and effectively, I feel like they've done that now, right? So I mean, anybody in the scrap business, you've been watching, your manufacturers, your commercial accounts, anybody that's producing, material has slowed down. I mean, a lot of our accounts, I mean, there's some that are still busy, but not nearly at the clip that they were, last couple of years. So,
Yeah,
I
the
think
brunt of
the
them is
Fed
slow.
has definitely found a way to get it done. And that's with higher rates, and it's just less people financing. I kind of liken the higher interest rates to when the price of scrap goes down. Like it takes people a while to adjust to, if you were, let's say, $300 iron and now you're $200 iron. Well, people are like, well, I'm just going to wait for it to go back to three. So then they hold and they hold and they hold, and they realize like 200 is probably going to be the number for a while, right? So then it's like, but it's a mental hurdle for a lot of people, or a financial hurdle, either way, for people to get over. And I feel like that's the interest rate. I mean, it sucks a lot of the gas out of the market. And, people are, oh, I'll just put off buying a house, maybe until the interest rates go back down to 4%. Or I'm going to put off buying a car. I'm going to drive my old car for a couple more years because I don't want to pay 7% interest or 8% on a car loan, right? So I think that's exactly what happens in the scrap business, which like if you get a big drop really quick, you can see flows just kind of slow down in a big way. And that's what spiking the interest rates does. It slows everything down for a while until people get used to that being the new normal, right?
Yeah, you get even just on like a yard level, we see that same mentality when it gets really hot or really cold. People just wait because
Absolutely.
they want it to be perfect or better. Then
Yeah.
when it's still 110 degrees outside, people it's like, oh well, shit, I better get rid of all this extra copper or whatever it is. So
I'll always come back to like when I went through and did my like MBA program, I did a study, and all these smart people in my class, and they're doing all this like smart people stuff. And I my senior project, one of the things I did, I can't remember which class it was, but I studied I did historical like volumes against pricing and against like temperatures for the weather, right? So I kind of really couldn't tease out, say, like rain or snow, or it was more
yeah,
just like the temperature, like the temperature for that day. And the weather didn't play as big of a role in scrap flow as you might think, as much as price did, right? So pricing was the driver for volume. And
okay,
so, and I mean, the weather does play a little bit of a role, but not nearly what the role that pricing drives, like that is the key factor. So if you do get these like big drop offs, and you do see flows come off. I mean, part of that deal is pricing dramatically went down, compared to what somebody might have been able to sell it for a week or two or a month ago. So they tend to hold on, at least for a little bit, until their garage is full or their warehouse is full, and they're like, fuck
Mhm.
it, like we got to get rid of this stuff. Like the price ain't coming back anytime soon. We need space.
Do you anticipate this information with these markets being a little greener today to help Ferris for next month? I know you're gonna get in that
I
with
don't think
gold.
it hurts. I don't think it hurts. I don't feel like there's enough. I feel like for now, I mean, I don't see a whole lot of downside in August. Anybody really, it depends on what the mill, every mill is different. Whether it's maintenance or service or like what they have for volume, but it does feel like we're going to chop along here for a little bit. Maybe there'll be a little bit of upside in a couple key items. Whether that's like a bush swing or something that maybe somebody's short on or something like that. But I feel like shred is, it's in balance, probably HMS, it's probably in balance from the people that I talk to. So I don't see a big upside, but I also don't see like a big, downside in August either. So this, if the markets come out and people feel a little bit more positive, I mean, maybe that does help at least the sentiment.
Hmm.
But mills don't really go off sentiment very much. It's mostly like tons, what I have sales against tons I've got in inventory, what I think I can buy. Like,
Yeah,
so
it's volume and
non-ferrous trades very sentimentally, right? Like it's very, can back, the market can swing in a big way. I mean, you're seeing with copper, it can be, up 10, 20 cents a pound in a day, on big days. And the same thing is true, like big ranges, I'm really off of sentiment.
well, and shout out to Justin Trenton Duke for calling me out for bitching about $4 copper yesterday. You know, but now we're
Yeah.
back to 420 copper, Justin.
Yeah,
You know, just took
exactly. There you go, Justin. We're just a bunch of whiners and complainers over here. But aluminum's bounced a little bit. Nickel bounced a little bit off $7. So I mean, you know, I, it's so hard. These markets are so tricky, and like we talk about this all the time. Is we're not out there hedging these things, or we're not huge volume buyers, of one specific item. So, we're living and dying in the markets we're buying in, right? So, but I could see how it could be really tricky if you were, a big copper buyer, or you were a big, whatever other of these metals are super volatile. Whether it's aluminum or whatever. Just trying to keep it, try and keep a beat on this market is tough.
yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I know. And when we see a dip like this, it can be nice for like your cash flow too. When you see a dip like that, and we get back to
Yeah,
normal, especially when that copper gets to 520, like that's just inflated. That's just kind of crazy, right now. So where it's gonna really be like in 2025, it feels like we should be 430 to 460. I got
yeah.
a couple comments on here. Alex Winkler says
Shout
he.
out to Alex. Alex, I just got to talk to. I just had lunch with one of your new colleagues. So I won't ruin the surprise for anybody. But Alex and I have done some business, over the years. And shout out to Alex. And I don't think you're wrong, man. Um, four 430 is probably, it could be in the cards just as well as $4, right? And if either of us knew the answer, or either of us had the nuts to bet on one side, I mean, probably could make some real money. But I think we're all guessing. But sure, I'd like to see 430 this week. I got a little more material I can move.
And also shout out to Sanel. Thanks for watching us, buddy. We appreciate the business from you, and shout out to you and your family.
Absolutely. So what else you got cracking over there, man?
Over here, we kind of had a few days of cooler weather. 90 degrees, but we're ramping back up to 107s, 108s, and
Yeah.
honestly, it's I got a few visits for some jobs to go look at. So we're still just cranking away over here, and hoping for some good Ferris pricing. You know,
Yeah. I'm gonna
um,
go with my buddy Chad Ellerbrock on hopefully Friday, and we're going to talk about the Ferris markets and kind of see what he's seeing out there, the Ferris guru, and kind of let us know, what his opinion is on these markets. I'm hopeful he isn't too bearish on me this month. It's been a rough go for the last 6 months, but I don't know. It's the dog days of summer, really. I think it's just kind of the typical of the way it goes. I genuinely think we could see, a little bit of movement, come September or October, as we get closer to the winter months on the Ferris side.
well, that brings me up September 1st. We're doing the 75 hard challenge. We're gonna start getting some links out there. If anyone wants to join a group that I think you're gonna make, Brett, we'll
I'm
invite
gonna
you.
build I'm gonna go on LinkedIn and build the group chat. We've had a lot of interest, people that want to be a part of it, and so yeah, if we can get that fired up and get everybody, encouraging each other, talking to each other, the importance of, just the physical side of our business, and trying to keep ourselves moving and motivated to get through these election cycles and this rest of this year to see how it goes.
And we got just a few other surprises, so stay tuned, and we'll get that out to everybody. So,
Absolutely. All right,
all
guys. We'll do another live Metal Monday. Anytime anybody wants to log in, you got some questions, don't hesitate to fire them off on us. We're here to answer, we're here to help if we can, and
or
we just enjoy it.
if anyone wants to join, we can add people. We can have more than two on here on this live. So it's real
Okay.
simple to do, and you can add your streams, and you can stream this live to all your followers. So feel free to reach out to either one of us. Okay.
All right, man. We'll keep doing these live. We'll kind of get some consistency built into it so people kind of know when we're going to do it. And then hopefully we'll get some people to either join us or ask some questions or whatever. We'll go from there.
All right. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.